This is the Champion 4500 watt remote start quiet inverter generator. And let me just say, this thing has been a fantastic addition to my gear for camping and backup power needs. When I first heard about it, I wasn't entirely sure if it would live up to the hype, but after using it for a while now, I have a lot to share about my experience with it. Looking at it, the overall design of this generator is pretty clean and practical. It's not one of those massive, clunky ones you can't figure out how to move around. The size is compact enough to fit easily in the back of an SUV or under a camper cover. It has a sturdy build with a mix of steel and some rubberized or plastic finishing, which makes it feel like a solid, well-thought-out product. The wheels are a lifesaver, and the fold-down handle is super convenient for rolling it around. I'll admit, it's a bit of a hefty machine at about 101 pounds, but with these features, moving it isn't as much of a hassle as I initially expected it to be. Now let's talk about some real-life experiences with it. One of the first things I checked when I got this generator was how easy it would be to set up. I'm not someone who's overly mechanical, so I needed something straightforward. Thankfully, Champion seemed to get that right. The Ease Start dial is a great feature. It's literally turning a knob to get it started. And the remote start? That's probably one of my favorite parts. I can start this thing from up to 80 feet away, which is a small luxury that I never knew I needed, but now can't imagine living without. Whether I'm still in my camper or just lounging outside, it's so easy to press a button and have it roar into action. When it comes to performance, this generator really shines. It delivers 4,500 starting watts and 3,500 running watts, which is more than enough to power my RV appliances. I've comfortably run my air conditioner, fridge, and a couple of electronics, and it doesn't break a sweat. It's also fairly quiet for a generator. At about 61 decibels, it's a similar noise level to regular conversation, making it one of the quieter machines I've come across. Sitting in my camping chair a few feet away, I'm never bothered by the sound, and that alone makes it worth recommending to anyone who hates loud, clunky generators. Another major highlight for me is the extended runtime. It holds up to 2.3 gallons of gasoline and can run for up to 14 hours at 25% load. From my experience, that's enough to handle an entire weekend camping trip without needing to constantly refill the tank. The digital IntelliGauge on this is super handy too. If you're like me and sometimes forget to keep track of runtime or power consumption, the display makes it easy to see how much voltage is being used, the frequency, and how many hours you've been running it. It's helped me avoid overloading the generator, which is great for maintaining its longevity. But it's not just for camping. I've also used this when we had a power outage at home, and it didn't disappoint. It powered up my fridge, a few lights, and some of my critical electronics with ease. It's designed to produce clean, stable power, so you don't have to worry about it damaging sensitive devices like laptops, phones, or tablets. That's a huge plus for me because sometimes using older generators can leave you a bit nervous about what you're plugging in. Now, as much as I love this generator, there are a few things that I think could be improved. First off, the weight. For something that's supposed to be portable, it's quite heavy. While the wheels and handle help with movement, lifting it into a car or onto a surface takes some effort and usually requires someone else to help. I'd love it if it were just a little lighter for easier handling. Another thing I noticed is that the IntelliGauge display can be hard to read in direct sunlight. When I'm camping, I'm obviously outdoors a lot, and sometimes it's a bit of a struggle to see the numbers clearly on a sunny day. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it's something that could be tweaked in future versions. Lastly, during the initial setup, I found myself a little cautious. Even though the instructions were clear, getting everything like oil and fuel topped up felt a bit intimidating, especially as someone not super familiar with generators. But once I got through it that first time, every use after that has been seamless. In conclusion, this Champion 4500 watt remote start quiet inverter generator has proven itself to be an excellent investment for me. Whether it's camping, tailgating, or simply being prepared for unexpected power outages, it's performed beyond my expectations. I'd recommend this for anyone who needs reliable power in a portable format and values features like remote start and clean energy for electronics. It's not perfect, but in my opinion, the pros far outweigh any little cons. If you've enjoyed this quick review and feel like you've learned something useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below with your thoughts or questions. I'd love to hear about your experiences with generators like this or answer anything you're curious about. Thank you for watching.